I was having coffee with a buddy today. We have coffee every once in a while, kind of spur each other on. He's started a YouTube channel, does a video podcast, and we were kicking around some ideas. And one of the topics that came up was about just going for it, just starting to stop sitting on your ideas. And I thought, dadgummit, that's a video that I wanted to do for you. By the way, my name is Kevin Colby. And, one of the things I just see over and over in the comments, and maybe this is you, is the fear of getting it right, the fear of putting it out there, the fear of having the right thing. But yet, maybe you've got the idea. This video I thought of after his name is Dave, after we had our coffee talk. It sparked the idea. On the way home, on my truck, I'm leaving an audio message so I can safely drive, talking through the video, and then I'm sitting down and recording. I even have a spot in my home office, and I've done videos on that before if you want to see those, where I can turn the camera on, hit record. I'm using Ecamm for this, so it's just recording for me on my computer, and I can go. I don't have to overthink the production of it. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to go with it. In fact, this video should be done, uploaded, and ready for YouTube in less than an hour. In less than an hour, because I've got my thoughts in my head. The whole point of this video is not overthinking, but it's also just going with it, not waiting for the perfect moment. So I'm not overthinking the production. Yes, I have a nice setup on my desk, but it's also set up where I can hit record and go. So if there's things holding you back, think about this. I love this quote. I'm going to share 2 or 3 things. This is from Rob Wilson with vidIQ. He said this once. I wrote it down. YouTube hates procrastination. If it can't find the content from you, it will find it from someone else. I butchered it, but you get the idea. If you've got an idea and you keep sitting on it, and somebody else has that same idea and they put the video out there, it's not like you can't do a video on it, but they didn't worry about it that much, that they sat on it that long. If YouTube thinks somebody needs a video on it and they find it over here, that's the video that they hope somebody watches. So think about the type of videos you want to create, the type of things you want to talk about. Well, maybe I'm not an expert on something. I'm going to cover that in just a second, so stay tuned. But when you keep sitting on it and maybe you're trying to perfect it, well, I've got to edit it. I've got to add these graphics. I've got to add all these B-roll. And you maybe go, what's a B-roll? Well, then if you don't know what it is, don't add it. I've got to add music. I've got to perfect it. I've got to optimize it the right way because some of these tools have told me that. Or the gurus on YouTube keep preaching all this. And I've got to do all these things. So you keep sitting on the idea. One way to do videos on YouTube is trending. You can call it trend jacking, trend surfing, but things that are very trendy. News channels can't sit on stuff very long, but they're kind of churning. And I'll probably do a whole different video about this, but if you've got a video idea, and you keep sitting on it, and there's people on YouTube looking for that specific thing, YouTube is not going to say, well, when Kevin finally gets around to doing that video, then we'll come back later and make sure that person sees it. Now, they may still serve up my video at some point, because they're about the viewer intent and the viewer desire and what the viewer wants. But YouTube's not just going to pause the whole platform because I haven't uploaded my video. Also, and I heard my friend Brian G. Johnson talk about this once. I don't have a quote to share from him. But it's kind of like, you've done the video, why not release it? Now, this video, I'm shooting it on a Thursday. I've decided to release it on Friday. So even then, I'm probably not doing what I'm suggesting you do, but there's not a perfect time to release your video. I know there are people on YouTube that will tell you there is, and there's not. And I would say, with all due respect to those people saying that, they don't know what they're talking about. Now, that's my opinion. But even if you go into your YouTube analytics, and it'll tell you kind of when your audience is online, YouTube will tell you that the time and day you publish it has very little effect on the video. Now, if it's trending, you want to get it out there as fast as you can. But other than that, I can't tell you when my videos drop. I typically publish on a certain day, but I don't hold myself to that. So, if you're looking for this perfected time of doing it, well, I said I can only do videos Wednesday at 5 p.m. And what if I've got an idea? Okay, so let's play this out. Let's say you just talk about tech. Let's just say iPhones. Let's just say specifically your channel is just about Mac in general. And you've said, I'm only going to publish videos on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Okay. And it's Thursday, the next day, which comes after Wednesday, and it's 10 a.m., and Apple all of a sudden announces something. Maybe you didn't know about it. And you can do a video on it, but it's big news. So you're going to hold that for a week just because you have come up with some arbitrary day and time that you have to publish because, gasp, you've told your audience, I do new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and then you miss a week, or it's Saturday and you've got an idea. Yes, there are exceptions to every rule. But if you're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect thing, the perfect way to create, remember, YouTube hates procrastination. If it can't find the content from you, it will find it from someone else. This isn't about competition. This is about just acting on your instincts and your knowledge and your expertise if you want to. Okay, the expert thing. Remember, I threw that out. Well, Kevin, I don't know everything about everything. Well, look, nobody does. Nobody does. Even though, yeah, there's enough people on YouTube that act like they know everything about everything. And typically those people I ignore. They kind of annoy me. I tend to listen to more of the people that are a lot more humble that still know a lot. They may be experts in their field. But if you knowing everything is holding you back, absolutely love this quote from Pat Flynn. You don't need to be the expert on a topic. You just need to be somebody who knows a little bit more than somebody else. And the irony is, and I've got, thankfully, I have some examples for these. But, years ago, and I learned this from Sean Cannell. Years ago, I learned that, a way to do a video is answer a specific question. Somebody has a question and you can answer it, do the video on it. And I saw people asking about how to upload a thumbnail to their YouTube video. Now, please, if you don't know how to do this, I'm not trying to be mean. I swear I'm not. But my thought was, well, who in the world doesn't know how to do that? Who in the world, wide web, doesn't know how to upload a thumbnail to their video? Now, this is when I leaned a lot more into search, like what people were looking for. So I searched it out, and guess what? There was a lot of people that had that question. So I did a video on, stop me, how to change your thumbnail on a video after you've uploaded, whatever I called it. And for the longest time, that became one of my biggest videos over time. It was a minute and a half. People had the question, I answered it. By me answering it, was I worried because I'm a YouTube expert? No, I'm not. I am not a YouTube expert. I know a lot about YouTube. I have a lot of assumptions based on my opinions and my experience, but I will never, ever present myself as a YouTube expert, especially a growth expert. I even hate the term. But I know a lot about. Does that make sense? And again, if you think of what Pat said, you don't need to be the expert on a topic. You just need to be somebody who knows a little bit more than somebody else. I don't know about you, but I can relate to somebody that's on the journey that's ahead of me, but they're not so far ahead that I don't think I'll ever get to that point. Now, granted, at my age, 64, there's some that I'm not worried about anymore. But if the thing holding you back from creating, from putting your vision out there, from sharing your gifts, is the fact that you're not an expert on everything, well, come here, lean in. I want to say this with as much love as possible. Get over yourself. Just get over yourself. Look, I think you probably know more about things than you think you do, but the reality of it is you have something to share that somebody needs. So if you're waiting on that thing that you know everything about, then people are going to pass you by. Go back to Rob's comment. YouTube's going to find the information. Another thing is about, the setup. We talked about this, is that, if you wait to just get it right, going back to my actual real in a coffee shop coffee meeting I had with my friend this morning, we were talking about just jumping on things that pertain to his interests. No lie. I get back to my office, I check, and there was a story about Major League Baseball doing a deal with Netflix, something I wouldn't cover. It is right inside what he talks about. And I sent him that link. And I said, this is something, Dave, you could do right now. Share the story. Give your opinion. Don't ever underestimate your opinion. And then your experience, because Dave also has worked for ESPN. You see how all that kind of flows? And I said, and the key to doing this is to not overthink it and overproduce it. In fact, my comment to him was, many a channel has been built and even grown on dudes sitting in their car, recording with their phone, just using the mic that's on the phone and uploading. That's it. So if the thing holding you back is the right gear, there ain't no right gear, the right setup, it's just all those things. Full disclosure, total honesty here. I wasn't going to shoot this video at my desk. I had the idea. I shared that. I came in, and my first thought was, I want to shoot this on my iPhone. I want to do kind of something a little artsy, where I hit record and sit down and I start talking to you, and then I get up and I stop record. Well, if I do that, then I've got to have another camera shooting the phone. You see? So even in the way that I was going to do the video, it was going to delay just getting it out there. And I believe there's at least one person, and maybe it's you, that needs to hear this. And I would love to hear from you. And something else that's really been on me for a while now. And it's a verse I read in Psalms the other morning when I was reading this, and it has so stuck with me. Psalm 39:5. You, talking about God, you have made my life no longer than the width of my hand. My entire lifetime is just a moment to you. At best, each of us is but a breath. But a breath. I don't have a tattoo. My wife and I have joked for years about getting tattoos. I keep saying she chickens out. It's probably me. This would be one I would tattoo on my arm, but a breath. Now, if you're a Christian like I am, I think this may speak to you more, but I think this could speak to anyone, even if you're not a believer. That, and it's not a bad thing, but we're only here for so long. You and I are just but a breath. Why would I not be more bold? And I'm just right now talking about creating content. You can take this to anything. Calling a friend you haven't talked to in a while, talking to a family member that you've had a rift with, just following through on something, slowing down, getting off social media, whatever it might be. But you and I are just a breath. So why sit on your gifts? Why wait for that perfect opportunity? Why worry that somebody might know a little bit more than you? Why try and perfect it so much that you just actually eke the life out of it. And this, I'm not going to get into AI right now, but this is something AI can never, ever do. It can't be you. Why? When you've got that idea and you've got those gifts that God has given you, whether you believe in God or not, that He's given you to do something with, why would you not share those gifts so you can make an impact in somebody's life? Nobody can want it more than you. But I'm telling you, don't just sit and wait, just create.